Hey, welcome back to Healthcare Consumer Radio. This is Doug Field along with my co-host Ron Bachman. And joining us today to talk about FSAs, which is coming up at the end of the year, and the rollover and a better understanding of rollovers is Jeremy Miller, founder and president of FSAStore.com. Jeremy, good morning.
Morning. How are you, Doug?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Great. Hey, tell the market, or tell our audience a little bit about FSAStore.com, please.
Sure. FSAStore.com, we're the only e-commerce site online to only sell FSA and HSA eligible products. So everything on our site caters to the 15 million Americans that have a flexible spending account, 15 million Americans that have a health savings account, that use their accounts regularly. We sell thousands of products that people can buy with their FSA and HSA. We also are really a hub for product information and eligibility, and just help consumers figure out their plans.
Which is the big deal right now as we have this current rollover language in place. Talk a little bit about that, if you would.
Sure. Back in late 2013, Treasury implemented a $500 rollover for flexible spending accounts. So if an employer opts in, then that employee can choose to roll over $500 of their funds from one year to the next. So there's less of a worry for employees to have to really understand or use their money at the end of the year, and just gives them more control over their healthcare dollars, so they can roll from plan to plan.
Now, how do you help work with the employers really to help them educate their employees on how to use and maximize their FSA throughout the year? What are the type of things that you guys do?
Yes, actually, right now that's a really perfect question, as open enrollment is underway for some and upcoming for many. I think that what we do is we have partnerships with third-party administrators, and we really aim to educate the employer and the employees on all the available options that employee has using an FSA and an HSA, and really allowing them to really take advantage of this tax-free benefit. I think that there's two really key things that we focus on our website, as well as when we're doing open enrollment webinars. One is education. There's a huge gap in education between what employees understand about these consumer-directed health plans. And I think the second one that's not touched on is, and something that we really focus on, is just ease of use of those plans. So, for example, debit card usage, 85% of employees prefer a debit card for their FSA or HSA account, but it's less how many employers actually offer them. So those are the kinds of things that we aim to do, is both educate as well as to improve and promote ease of use.
Jeremy, it's Ron Bachman here. Let's go back for a second just to be sure all of our audience is clear. There's a couple of options they have, I guess. Could you explain the difference between that $500 rollover that we talked about and the grace period that they can have another 2.5 months or so to use dollars from the previous year? How does that all work together so we have a clear understanding in the marketplace here?
Yeah, I think they all work together. I think the goal is to promote ease of use of FSAs, and so there is an option of just having funds there being a deadline. For example, December 31st is a very popular deadline to use funds, but many companies offer the grace period, which is a 2.5 month extension of those benefits to be able to use their FSA without losing the funds. And the third option is the rollover, which was, like I said, introduced last year, which now allows them to roll up over $500 a year. Now, that $500 can be used this year and next year, but the maximum you can roll over each year is $500. So it's not an cumulative thing. It's more of a per year max of $500 that can be rolled over. So all in all, what it does is make flexible spending accounts more easy for the consumer to be able to not lose their funds, which is something that is cited in many surveys as one of the main reasons that people do not opt into FSAs, is that fear of losing funds.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you can't do both. You can't have the grace period and the $500 rollover? Is that correct?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
You can pick one, similar to HSAs and FSAs at a limited care FSA.
Now, I think your service is fantastic because I'm not sure everybody fully appreciates the fact that the use of FSA dollars or HSA dollars or even HRA account balances feed into something, without getting too technical, I guess it's called, 213D expenses under the IRS code. That and there's no specific list. There's no itemized list. There's things that historically have been accepted by the IRS as allowable for FSA funds, but they change over time, don't they?
Oh yeah, we're on the board of actually the Eligible Product List Committee, and we personally send in over 200 new products a month to be considered for eligibility. So, in our sense, we do sell products, and that's our main source of revenue and income. But really, the site is also a tool for people to help understand what's covered, because it gets very confusing when SPF, SPF 15 was something that's pretty new, but it does get confusing sometimes when pull-ups are covered and diapers aren't.
Right.
So it's hard for the consumer to go into a regular store with 40 to 50,000 different products and say, well, this one's covered and this one's not.
Right.
And so we really are a tool in that sense to be able to help consumers better understand how to use their funds. And we get a ton of feedback from people that say one of the most important things they see is that, wow, I didn't realize that my breast pump or first aid kit or contact lens solution was actually covered under the plan. So we love to hear that from our customers.
What do you see, Jeremy, as the most common FSA expense?
The most common expense, there's really a ton of popular categories. First aid is definitely common. Baby care, sun care. There's definitely pain relief products. And diagnostic products are also key. So blood pressure monitors, heart rate sensors, those are very popular. And we continually try to add new products so that people can be aware of other things that are coming that are eligible to help promote or help to cure, mitigate, or prevent disease.
So what are some of those new items that the IRS has recently allowed to be covered?
So something that we working on now is some people have chronic back pain. And so we scoured the web for products that, other than heat patches, that might help people with back pain. So now there's these sensors that you can put on your back for back pain. Breastfeeding supplies are huge after recent usage of a lot of different breast products. So the pumps are covered. Anything around breastfeeding is covered. We also sell a lot of specialty sunscreens, which are very popular, as well as glucosamine, thermometers. As I said, blood pressure monitors, defibrillators are interesting. We don't sell them, but you can buy a scooter. That's just a random product that I throw in there. But first aid kits are very popular. Diabetes supplies, kinesiology tapes. There's a lot of things that people are very surprised about.
And so, Jeremy, your distribution model is through partnerships with TPAs, correct?
Yes.
And then your business model is transactional, or what
You're selling the products, is that correct?
Right.
Yeah. So we have a partnership program that we put a lot of time into, which is we reach out to third-party administrators across the country that offer FSAs and HSAs, and we partner with them to help them promote the site to people that have FSAs and HSAs, because we really have the same goal, which is to increase usage, to increase understanding, and the site does that, and so do the tools that we have. So we just actually released a comprehensive eligibility list, has over 800 different types of products and services that are covered. So even though we do sell products, we also want people to understand that there's also a lot of services other than dentistry and optometry that are covered, such as acupuncture or smoking cessation therapy. And so our 800 product list really goes down the gamut of everything A to Z that might be covered under your FSA, your HSA, as well as your HRA if you have one and you know that you have one. And it just makes it really streamlined and convenient for people to understand. So we're really focused on tools like that. So we like to say that we're really like a one-stop destination for those type of products, because it's not just about selling products; it's also raising awareness and promoting usage.
That's good. Your benefit to TPA, you're enabling the TPA to provide added value to their employer client, but also are you creating a new revenue stream for them too through a partnership with you?
Yeah. I think the main source that people find is that we start to look at enrollment rates as well as allocation rates. And so we survey our TPA partners as well as our customers a lot, actually. And we do find that there's definitely a lift in people that find FSA Store and find the tools that we have and then end up increasing their allocation for the next year, which increases TPA revenue. So the FSA administrators can make additional funds on both increasing enrollment through the plans as well as increasing allocation through the plans. And that's our kind of common goal that we partner with TPAs to try to really achieve. And we track that and are monitoring that consistently.
Jeremy, we got about 30 seconds to go, and I want to give you
Sure.
a chance to wrap it and let our audience know how they can get in touch with you.
Sure. So our site is FSAStorecom. You can find it through Google. You type in FSA Store, we're there. And, we're constantly looking at new tools, and we're actually planning on releasing some big products in the upcoming next couple months that you'll be hopefully seeing through the pipeline. So feel free to check it out and also to live chat with us. That's a very popular way that people like to communicate with us. It's right on the bottom right-hand corner. So we're always here. We're 24/7. So if you have a question or you have a question about a product, our site is open all of the time.
Jeremy, great to talk to you again. Good to have you here. Come join us out west. Love to see you out in Las Vegas. If you have an opportunity to join us out there, you have a great weekend up in New York. And to the rest of our audience, and enjoy your weekend. We'll see you next week on Healthcare Consumerism Radio.